Hi, everybody. My name is Lettucey Dudun Bear. Go ahead and say that 3 times fast. Well, I'm an African queen. Both my parents are from Port Harcourt, Nigeria. People always assume that, yeah, you're from Nigeria, so you have to be Igbo or Yoruba. Nope. Actually, I'm from Ogoni, and it's a very small tribe in Nigeria, and typically we're very much underestimated, and nobody knows about us. But today you're going to find out who I am. Both my parents were very strong minded when they were in high school, and they were determined to finish high school and get their diplomas. But after, my mom really did want to go to college, and by culture, she was forced to get married at a young age, which is typically normal in Nigeria and Africa in general because they're so focused on their children getting married and being able to provide for their kids and for their families. After that, my parents got married, and as they got married, my dad put my mom in France so that then he could focus on getting their visa to go to the United States. Once they finally received their visa, they moved to Atlanta, Georgia, which is actually where I was born. Atlanta, Georgia, the big peach, as you know, was cool, but since I moved, we decided to move to Dallas later on because my parents were going through a marriage situation. And that was after they had 3 kids, which was me and 2 of my sisters. So they decided to move to Texas and Dallas, Texas, and it honestly became home to all of us. I honestly really liked Dallas and still love it. I feel like Dallas is one of the places that I definitely would stay, maybe for the rest of my life, but we'll see about that. So, so after we moved to Dallas, we moved into a 2 bedroom, 2 bath, and having all 3 of us in an apartment, we were really forced to find a way to entertain ourselves as time was going by when like school was over or during the summer, during winter breaks. But then, like a year or two later, my youngest sister was born. So then we were focused on her because she was the baby in the family. As she was the youngest, then we still found different ways to even play like family games and stuff like that. So it was pretty fun. But then as I got older, I had to mature because then I found out that my parents were going through serious problems. And it wasn't a bad thing, but it really hurt me because I really wanted us to be like a big happy family, as my mom did too. So I had to mature and I didn't realize like how much I had to start learning. I had to learn how to drive. I learned how to cook. I had to learn how to just take care of my sisters and find a way to for all of us to um, be together and still survive. Honestly, at the time, I didn't even realize how my mom was a superhero. She was basically Superwoman at that. But it was okay because I really wanted to take that responsibility as the oldest sibling to help and take care of my sisters as my mom was at work. And boy, my African parents, they definitely do want their children to become future doctors, future lawyers, which is a really big thing. So she wanted us to always have flying colors in all of our classes. And it was not surprising because she wanted us to pass our classes and become somebody. She wanted us to make money so that we could provide for our family. And at that time, we're always going to school, so she will like force my dad to help us with our homework because she only had her high school diploma. So she was like, okay, he has to help the kids. Or if he didn't help, then she wanted us to be able to communicate with our teachers and ask them for help, just so that then we can understand the content. And she was not playing any games. But once my parents were in the stages of divorce and separation, I honestly didn't feel like I was losing somebody. It really felt like my mom was just both parents, which maybe for other people is normal, but for me, it didn't feel like there was a difference. It just felt like somebody's just moving out. But she was very protective over her children. She did not want anything to happen to all of us. She was just so focused and determined that we had food on the table, we had um, a roof over our heads, and everything like that. But at the same time, during the divorce, my mom and my dad didn't have anything that tied them down together, like any property or anything like that, other than us as our kids, as their kids. And so my mom definitely wanted full custody of all of us, which was pretty good because then we knew and we felt that she cared for us. Then our parents signed documents, and my dad was forced to pay child support. But I wasn't sure why because I've seen it as I was getting older. I was forced to see all the things that came with the divorce. And I noticed that he wasn't paying the child support majority of the time. Or if he did, it would be like half of what he was supposed to say, half of what he was supposed to pay that was on the document. And honestly, I was hurt by that because I felt like he didn't care about all of us anymore. But either way, it's okay. Because then later on, I had to find my way to pay for college because I knew I wanted to go to college. I knew that my mom was a single mom, and there's no way she could pay like $30,000 for all my classes for 4 years. So that's when I found sports, and I knew I needed something to pay for it. So I fell in love with volleyball and track, which is my passion as I got older. And I wanted to perfect that. And as I was getting older, I literally was getting different offers from different universities and colleges. And I was really surprised because I honestly didn't know that I was that good. Then I saw how the only thing I did was I had to figure out what sport I wanted to do, volleyball or track. And I really loved volleyball. I really love both sports. So at the end of the day, I had to compare the money from the colleges. And after a long process, then I finally committed to UMKC for volleyball, majoring in health sciences. And I really do want to go into the medical field. That's the one thing about me that I really love to help people. So as I'm in college, as I'm still a freshman, now becoming a sophomore, and I really want to get NIL deals. So I've always wanted to be part of like a um, high ranked team to receive recognition as a female, which is pretty hard. But I feel like I found a beautiful job in Kansas City called Nickel and Suede, which is a jewelry store. And as you can see, I am wearing a peach earring from my job. And I really love it. It's a really small jewelry store that was really based in a basement. But as I got older, as I'm going through it, my hobbies are pretty much at the time was sewing and crochet, which books was not really my favorite unless I was really interested. But my favorite shows would be Grey's Anatomy and Criminal Minds, which I love. Nothing can beat that. Food. Food is my biggest thing. I love eating anything, unless it tastes disgusting like pickles. But other than that, it's fun. But let me end by just saying I'm in college now and I'm realizing that all the sacrifices that I made were really important because it showed the worth of the fight. And now that my parents are divorced and going through my senior year to recruiting for sports, I love and I can feel the empowerment from my mom, how she knew that I needed this. Thank you.